Hello, welcome to Geeking Out with Shad. Is my hair alright? I mean, I gotta look like a true geek, right? Generally, their hair is a little messed up. Alright, um, I'm gonna do an update on the Bolt EUV camera failure. So if you haven't seen my last video, here I'm gonna put that clip in of what's going on with the backup camera on my car, just as a refresher. So go ahead and watch this clip. So I put it in reverse, and then it does this. So sometimes it glitches and completely goes out. See, now you see it glitching. There it goes. Nice. And then it does that, and then sometimes it'll come back on. Sometimes it just does this and stays off. So yeah, I would like to get that fixed. Yep, now it's not coming back on. And then there's times when I put it in park. Let's see if it'll go out of this mode, and then it gets stuck here. Nope, this time it didn't. Yeah, it's pretty intermittent. Yeah, now it seems to be completely not working. But next time I get in the car, it'll probably work just fine. Cool. So I took my car to the dealership. The challenge is that this is an intermittent bug. So it doesn't always happen. It just happens maybe 30% of the time. So I wasn't sure if the dealership was going to have the problem when I bring the car in. So I brought my car into the dealership, and I sent them this video that I just showed you, so they can at least see it in the video and know that I'm telling the truth, right? I'm not making this up, right? So that's pretty cool. And they reached out to me the next day, and I'm trying to, okay, they said it was the video processing module. I just had to make sure I wrote that down. The video processing module needs to be replaced. So that to me makes sense. So I don't think it's the camera itself. And we have lots of devices that have cameras in them, right? And I'm actually using one right now as I'm talking to you. It's plugged into the USB port of my computer, and so on and so forth. The camera, this thing, is just a little camera that I have sitting in front of my computer. Yeah, now I messed it up. Yeah, there we go. That's fine, but if something starts going wonky with this video that I'm filming right now, it probably isn't the camera. It's probably some processing thing in the computer itself, because the computer has chips and stuff to process videos like this. Cars have the same thing. So everything's got little microprocessors in them now. And so it's generally not the camera itself. It can be the camera, but it's usually the unit that processes all the information and knows what to do with it. So they're going to replace that. They don't have the part in stock, which to me is obvious. It's like a dealership can't stock everything and have it on hand. And they don't have it locally, but they do have it in Michigan, which also makes sense because Michigan is where GM is located, right? As are Ford and Chrysler, which Chrysler is really no longer an American company. If you don't know, they were owned by Fiat and other European companies, and now it's Stellantis or something bought out. So any Chrysler product or Dodge isn't even an American company anymore. So I love how you see these people in their Ram trucks in America, and it's like not even an American truck. I mean, it's made in America, but it's not an American brand anymore. So anyway, wow, did I just go pew off on a tangent? I do that. So back to this video processing module. It's in Michigan. And they're going to next day air it, which is pretty cool, to the dealership here and hopefully get it in my car today. So, and if that happens and I get my car this afternoon and everything works, great. One of the things I always kind of worry about is when they put these things in your car, they have to disassemble stuff that was assembled at the factory. And the previous bolt that I had, the 2020, there was the little reverse lines weren't showing up in the video for some reason, and then they would come on. That was like a temperature thing. So when it got cold, the little lines wouldn't show up. But when it was warmer, or once the car warmed up, they would show up just fine when you put in reverse. The camera worked fine, but it was just those lines. So it was probably another processing module issue thing, right? And took it to the dealership. I mean, this was happening like almost immediately after I purchased the car, and they ended up replacing the whole video unit and the dashboard and doing all this stuff because they were just guessing at what the problem was. And what kind of sucked about that is after that, the lines still never came back because I think it was the processing unit itself, not the camera or the dashboard video screen. But they went and replaced all this stuff in the car. Well, then the car going on the road had little rattles in the dashboard and things like that. Because once they take all that stuff apart, put it all back together, they just don't get it as tight and stuff, or the screws aren't put to spec or whatever it is. And then the car's rattly, and I hate that. Like, I hate rattles in my car. So hopefully my car doesn't get all rattly. I do expect, no, this is just a thing, when it's as cold as it gets here in Minnesota, most cars are going to get rattly. And the reason for that is because when it gets really cold, all of the plastics and metals even and all the materials contract and get really hard and firm. I almost every vehicle I've ever owned, when it's really cold out, it kind of rattles, and sometimes once the cabin warms up, the rattling goes away, right? So that makes sense to me. But under normal driving, normal temperatures and stuff, I don't want my car rattling. So I had to take it back there and keep saying, well, there's this noise, there's this rattle, and then try to troubleshoot. It's such a pain. So I hope that doesn't happen with my new car, because that is frustrating when that happens. Just hopefully they can put the new video module in. Everything works great. They didn't have to take a whole bunch of interior parts apart to do it. I have no idea. I don't know where the module is located. Unfortunately, I have a feeling it's probably in the dash somewhere, right? So I will keep you updated on this. They're getting it fixed relatively fast. I mean, it took me a little over a week to get into the dealership. They're getting it fixed relatively fast. And then will it be fixed? Will they have nailed the problem down right away? Things like that. I will keep you updated. Kind of important stuff to know. And again, I'm going to repeat this. This is not an EV issue. This is I've gone online, and there's Silverados, there's Equinox, all these other ICE cars that have had this similar camera module issue. So this has absolutely nothing to do with EVs. What it does have to do with, and EVs are of course going to fall into this category as are pretty much all newer cars, is the amount of computers and processors and technology that's in cars now. I mean, that is the thing going on here. So definitely, anybody's going to get all negative on EVs about this. It's like, not an EV problem, nothing to do with the battery or the electric drivetrain components. Sweet. I appreciate your support from my channel. Please like and subscribe. Peace.